Hey everyone, welcome to the CNC Side Hustle Show, number 5. I'm so excited for tonight's show. We've got some great segments lined up, including Guess the Price, Pick Your Niche, and the most exciting of it all, you could win a spin on the Spindle Spin. Hopefully a better spin than that. That was a weak spin. But if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome. And if you're back to join us again, thank you for coming back to where we can entertain you, fire you up, and get you ready to make some cool projects. We started this show. If this is your first time here, we started the show to spark new ideas, share some laughs, hang out during the week, and maybe learn something new. But my one goal is to get you fired up, encouraged, and get you out in the shop creating this weekend. I want the most people ever creating in the shop this weekend. I think that'd be great. So that's my goal. So with that, let's see who we got in here tonight. We've got Johnny King is here. We've got Stephen John. Welcome in. Roland, I recognize that name. Thanks for coming in. Kelvin, I recognize that name. Welcome back. Bosnian Trucker. How could I forget that name? How could I forget a name like the Bosnian Trucker? Or not the, just Bosnian Trucker. Maybe you should put the in front of it. That'd be cool. Colson Decker, welcome in. Mike Allerton. Pineapple. Welcome back, Pineapple. Pineapple was the winner of the Spindle Spin last week. Pineapple, I don't think we've heard from you yet. So reach out to support@andybirdbuilds.com. And Miranda will get you taken care of there. But Kevin, welcome in. Kevin's all around. Kevin joins like every live that I'm a part of, and he is from Chattanooga, but he's always working in a different city. So thanks for taking the time to get in. Steve, how you doing, Steve? Long time no talk. And Lumber Zach, welcome Zach. Zach is we can go back to Zach for a second. Zach honestly means so much to me. Zach was one of the first crazy people that supported me in a financial way on Patreon. I started the Discord group, the CNC Inner Circle. I don't even know the years now. 3 years ago, 4, something like that. And he was one of the first ones to jump on and support me. So I'm greatly appreciative of that. I'm not asking for support on Patreon because I don't have a Patreon anymore. But I'm just highlighting the support from the very beginning. So thank you for coming back. All the crazy things I've said 4 years later, 5 years later. I've actually been on YouTube now for 5 years. That's wild. So welcome in. Hey, Rick's here. Rick is here from, we do a Wednesday night live show, live hangout, Q&A. That's a great time as well. You should check us out on Wednesday nights. James, we've got James in here, Dan in here. I'm just kind of reading through the chat. GDS Woodcraft, Anthony Richardson. That sounds like an NBA name, like Anthony Richardson. Starting at point guard, number 5, Anthony Richardson. Anyways, hey, if you don't know what we do here with questions, this isn't your typical live stream where we just hang out. There's nothing wrong with this at all, but where we hang out and answer questions. No, we've got planned segments for you tonight that we've spent a lot of time developing and working on, including, I didn't mention this earlier, but including a brand new segment called Tools of the Week. That's Eric put together a much better intro than that, but that's just what comes to my mind. Tools of the Week. So where we highlighted a tool that I've been using in my workshop that I think is worth sharing. But we don't, but still ask questions. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Still ask questions. As a question comes into your mind and you're watching the show, drop it in the chat because I'll be on the hot seat at the end of the show. And we've got our moderator this week, B. Oh, yep. Look at that. Always pops up like the thumbs up. This stuff's crazy. I think it's reminding me, give the show a thumbs up. I don't know. Can they see that? When I do a thumbs up, like there's this thumbs up emoji, which is wild. Crazy. We're not doing that on our end, by the way. But B is behind the scenes, curating all your questions, and is going to serve them up to us or to me. I'm not going to see them beforehand, so I'll be on the hot seat, and I will answer as many as I can at the end of the show. So if a question comes in your mind, you don't need to save it for the end of the show. You can drop it in as we go, and I'll remind you along the way to do that again. But we will do hot seat Q&A at the end of the show. Welcome in again. This is going to be a fun one. Let's get started with our first segment. All right, welcome to Tool of the Week. No, I am not referring to my neighbor. They're not the tool that I'm referring to. If my neighbor's watching this, I'm sorry. But rather a cool tool that I've been using in my shop. Now, this may seem like a weird one. You got to bear with me. If you've been around me long enough, you know I don't like to do things traditional. Like, what am I going to do? Like, here is a drill. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something unique. So 3 months ago, I picked up this mini blower. Okay. Now this thing's weird. Bear with me here. It has a lot of great uses. I do not use it for that picture. That's awesome. But I picked up this mini blower, and the whole reason I picked it up was to, like, when I'm specifically filming, but I even use it now when I'm not filming. And when there's a deep crevice or something where I can't get the chips, where dust collection isn't sucking everything up. If you run dust collection at all, it's not perfect. Maybe in some people's shop, but in my shop, dust collection is not perfect. So what I do is I use this to evacuate chips when I need to get them out. And it's just nice to clean off my piece during the carve. And I don't have to stop it and then like shop vac it off real quick. Or, if you have a deep crevice where those chips can't get up and out, I used to stop, hit pause, suck it all out with a shop vac and then hit restart. Now this one, I just kind of blow it all to the side and clean it up afterwards. That was the main reason, but I've found some other really cool uses for this. So I've actually used it in finishing a lot, where with clearing sanding dust. So especially on, if you're sanding a cutting board, obviously it's not necessary, but if you're sanding anything with edges, with pockets, with anything that's hard to get to and get dust out of, this has been really, really cool to dust everything off after you sand it before you apply the finish. So that has been a great use. And then the third one I have not mentioned is cleaning of electronics. Clearly, we're using electronics, whether it be a laptop or whether it be your control box or anything like that, or ball screws or rails. Anything where dust is accumulated, this is probably the actual use for it, is the dust off electronics. But it's been really helpful. I found it really helpful in all those other ways too. So we will get it. We currently don't have a link in the description, so don't go look for it. But we will get a link in the video description after the show where you can find it. But you can simply go on Amazon too if you want to find it and type in mini blower. So there's that. So that's Tool of the Week, first segment, first brand new segment. And give us feedback. Do you like it? Let us know. All right, let's head to the next segment. All right, back with a fan favorite, Guess the Price. This one's so good. And the whole premise of this is to have fun, see if you can get close, but also to look at different pricing ideas. And remember, pricing is what makes it so difficult is price and value is perceived differently by everybody. So with this week, the way this is going to work, Eric, our showrunner off to the side here, if I'm looking over at him or pointing at him or yelling at him, I'm not yelling at the wall, is going to put up some products on the screen here, and we're going to guess together. Whoever's closest wins. We haven't came up with a good way to actually you win something, but we're working on it. Let me tell you, there's been some conversations about going full Price is Right on this thing, but we'll get there one day. So Eric, hit us with the first product. Oh, by the way, Eric did told me. Oh, I forgot to say this. Eric told me that this week's theme is outdoors, and I have not seen these. I have not seen these pictures. I haven't seen these products yet. So, all right, here we go. What in the world, Eric?
It's called a wheelie gig.
We got a whirly gig.
A whirly gig.
We got a whirly gig. Okay. Can you give us dimensions?
I mean, it's
yay big.
Yeah,
okay, yay big. I would say about 2 feet. This is a pretty cool build, though. It's wind driven. Looks like a guy hoeing his garden. Oh man, Eric.
You want to see what it does? Let's see. Just a second here.
Oh, you actually have a video?
I thought I had a video.
Okay.
I don't know where I put it. Okay, maybe I don't have a video.
Okay. All right. Eric doesn't have a video. It's all right. So picture. You want me to demonstrate what it does?
What?
It spins, and then he goes like this. Yeah, there we go. Miranda's probably going to clip that and be like, put it in a short or something, and I'm going to look like a fool on the internet. Oh, wait, I'm already on the internet. So this is a whirly gig. What is your price? What is your guess? What do you think this would sell for? Outdoors. I think I've got a guess here. Rick says $20. Love it, Rick. GDS says 95, 74, 99.99. Kevin says 75. Okay. I'm going to go. I think 85 comes to mind. 85 is what comes to mind. Let's see what we got here. 56 bucks. Okay. Now I can see this as like a retired guy in his barn, and he just makes these for the fun of it. You know what I mean? Because there's no way you could make money on that with the labor that it would take to build that. Now, if you batched it out, but the painting alone would be substantial. But that's a cool product. I think you can definitely get more out of it depending where you're selling this. But do we have anybody that was really close?
Yeah, we had a couple. We had some 50s.
Some 50s. Oh, we had a 6245. Very precise. 65, 50. Good job, Cosman. Yeah. Nice. Someone said BAM. You scroll down a little bit. Did someone get it? BAM. What did I win? You won a shout out. Good job, Cosman. Good job. All right. Next up, we got a chair. Okay. Outdoor chair shaped like, is this Idaho?
No, that's Minnesota.
Oh. Oh, man.
No, apologize to everyone from Minnesota.
Sorry, Minnesota.
I apologize to everyone in Idaho.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Idaho. It's been a long day. It's all right. All right. So Minnesota chair here. This is a cool CNC product. Like, this is a mixture of like traditional woodworking with power tools. You could do pocket. They just look like they put them through the face of those boards, but you could do pocket screws here, and made out of cedar. Let's go with cedar because it's outdoors, which is great. I like this one. I think this is actually. Before I read anybody's guesses here, I'm gonna go with mine. I'm gonna go 225. Don't reveal it yet. I'm gonna go 225. All right, so we got a 180, 150. Calvin, is that like $35? Do you not like Minnesota? No, who knows? Maybe 150. Ooh, Bosnian trucker says 230. A big mouse at part of his chair. A big mouth, probably. That's probably what he's seeing. 149. All right, Eric, hit us with it. What do you think we got here? I said 225. 184. All right. 184. What do you guys think? You think you could make money at 184? I think, honestly, like this is the deceiving part, right? My thoughts is like you could build this easier than you could build the whirligig. I think you could build this faster than the whirligig. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, because that's an interesting, like with the whirligig, it's so involved. It's smaller, a lot of painting. You're selling it for $56, and I think you could build this faster than you could build that. You're selling this for $184. Then, of course, you have material cost involved, but no, Anthony Richardson, you were not selected in the first round of the NBA draft. Yeah. Hey, Cosman. So this is a great point. And I want to, so you can make money. This is what I've based my entire, everything I teach off from. You can make money, but can you make any sales? So at the end of the day, like, you could build something, you could price it, but are you selling it? And that's the problem I have with a lot of things you hear on the internet. It's like, you could make this much money, you could make this much money. And of course I do that too, but I always try to back it up. Like, because there's nothing worse than making something, thinking it's going to sell, then it doesn't sell. That is a horrible feeling. And I know we've all been there. That's a horrible feeling. So, but of course, there's no such thing as like the magic bullet either, where you can make it automatically and sell. Now, what I like about this piece is that there are people, I know for a fact, that I just offended from Minnesota that would love this at their cabin and would pay $184 for 4 of them, and buy 4 of them and not think twice about it. So that's why we always make something for somebody in mind. If we're going to make a product, we need to know who we're making this for before we need to know before we make it. We need to know where our market is, where we have a plan. If sales are our goal. Now, if it's just a hobby and you're just like, oh, I want to see what happens, then that's fine too. You don't need to put so much thought into it. But so there are some thoughts. All right. Let's get through this. I went on a side tangent there. All right. What else we got here? We've got a birdhouse.
A teardrop birdhouse.
Andy Bird builds. Everybody says I should build birdhouses. But so I've got, what do we think here? This looks like a Finch birdhouse, I'm going to say. That's kind of cool though. Kind of a cool piece. Unique, like that shape, that teardrop shape is pretty unique. Pretty cool. What do you guys think? You selling this for? Put your guesses in. Who's going to win this time? Who's going to win? I think I've got $60 on this. I need to stop going so round. I need to do what I need like $59.99. Nice. Michael 60, Dennis 40, GDS 45, Roland 55. Okay. All right. I think we're kind of all in the similar ballpark, like roughly 40, maybe 30 to $60.
57, 43.
All right. Are they close?
Right.
All right. Guesses. Get your guesses in. Reveal it, Eric. What's it going to be? $49. Well, so we had some 50s. Michael Otrowski had 50. Colson, what? Colson, 49 winner. We need like a winning sound. Ding, 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 ding. I think that's the first time. This is the 5th time we've done this segment, and that's the first time anybody's ever got it exact. So nice. Good job. Is that the last one, Eric? Or we got one more? All right, we got one more here. So if you were terrible on that, like me, redeem yourself. Okay, we got another outdoor seating here. Cedar bench. Okay, with some with that custom engraving on the top. I like that. That's a cool touch. Whew. It's a glider. Eric's going all out. Glider. This thing is not cheap. I wouldn't think. So this is one of those things where I could see someone, again, depending on the situation, someone is building this for $250, but I can also see that someone should be selling this for $2,000. I'm gonna go with $789. Yeah, it is cedar. Cedar's not necessarily too expensive. $349, $550.
We're in like the 3 to 6 range.
3 to 6 range. All right, everybody's in the 3 to 6 range. This looks like a 2-seater maybe. $799. Okay, Michael, $849. Yep. Absolutely, Mark. I agree with you. We'll talk about that here in a second. All right, what is it, Eric? $644.51. Okay. Oh, man. I struggle with these things.
Shipping to get it here in Kentucky was like $200.
Okay. All right. So Eric said that shipping to Kentucky was like $200. Like honestly, what are you, if you can build this, like what are we profiting off of this? You know, like if you're mass producing these, okay. But to me, I don't think this should be a near $1,000. Now, someone go back to the point comment. Was it Mark? Yeah, Mark. And then Mark says it could see this with a greater than 1,500 price tag on it. Absolutely. And then his next comment was depends on the market. And that's why it depends on your market. And you need to, the way to figure it out is to test it. And I wouldn't start testing it with a $1,500 piece. Like I wouldn't build this and test the market, right? Maybe I would build one for myself and then I would see this is honestly, if you have no experience making and selling things, this, I have seen a lot of different strategies. In the most basic one, I'm not saying you're going to get rich off this. That's not what I'm saying. But the most basic strategy is make something for yourself or make something for a loved one and document the process, meaning taking pictures, take your material prices, how long it took you to make it. Know that you're going to get more efficient at making it, and then post those pictures and see what people's responses are. So I think that is the best way. Make something for yourself that you like, that you need, that you want, and then test and adapt. So really that's kind of how I approach things like this. But great job pricing tonight. We had Cosman. Cosman nailed it on the bird feeder at $49. Congratulations. Maybe you'll win something one day, but right now we don't have any prizes other than saying good job. But that's right, Eric. But that was a lot of fun. I like the pricing game. You guys like the pricing game. That's why we keep doing it. So with that, we are going to open enrollment entry for the Spindle Spin, which to enter, you need to put in the chat #AndyBirdBuilds. That's all you need to do. If you write #AndyBirdBuilds in the chat, that'll enter you in to the drawing. We're going to draw one name, and that person is going to get a spin on the Spindle Spin to win a prize. What do we have on the Spindle Spin this week? Same thing we had last week. And our biggest prize is free access to the CNC Side Hustle, which is our grand prize. We have project files. We have router bits. We have, like I said last week, my team hated that I put this one on here. But everyone wins. So everyone, if we hit that one, we've actually picked the prize, what everyone wins, which project file everyone wins, and how we're going to do that. 30-minute coaching call, which Pineapple won last week. And we do have a loser where you don't win anything. So you could win the CNC Side Hustle, which is valued at $899 with all the bonuses, or you could win nothing. Or everyone could win something. Everything's on the table tonight. So enter by putting #AndyBirdBuilds in the chat. We're going to draw one of your names. We're going to spin it after this segment. And here's the kicker. We had a little controversy last week. You have to be present to win. And the thing is we know who is present to win because the chat tells us who is commenting, how is commenting, and it's all timestamped. So we can go back and watch it. And last week we gave him 30 seconds. So you got to be present to win. So that means right after this segment, if you have to go pee now. and then come back so you are present to win. If not, we will respin and we'll draw someone else's name and respin. All right. So with that, let's go to the next segment. All right. Segment number 3 is pick your niche. And this, we've done this segment once before, bringing it back. So some things about picking a niche is super important to get traction, because if you're trying to sell everything to everyone, you're setting yourself up to sell nothing to anyone. So in this segment, we're cutting through the noise and helping you find your CNC niche. You can stand out, sell smarter, and actually make money doing what you love. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying in the previous segment about making something for yourself, making something for a loved one, making something that someone wants, and going from there. So the truth is, honestly, when I grasped this, I actually heard this from Pat Flynn, Smart Passive Income podcast, about 7 years ago. And this changed, maybe 6 years ago now. This changed the way I thought about everything. And he's not the first one to say it, but this is where I heard it. Because the truth is the riches are in the niches. This is such if you can get your mind around this concept that the riches are in the niches, you can get so much traction and make so much money. Because the reason is I would rather sell to 1,000 passionate fans than sell to 1 million people that could take it or leave it and don't care either way. Because the reality is they're not going to buy your products. But the 1,000 fans, if you can solve their problem, offer them value, those are the people where you want to serve. And because they'll pull money, they have a real problem and pull money out of their pocket. So don't try to appeal to everyone. Anyways. All right. This week's niche. Oh, by the way, if you got any questions, make sure to drop them in the chat. We got B backstage curating all these for rapid Q&A. So if anything pops in your head, drop it in the chat. All right. So 2 niches tonight. And the first I'm going to do a popular niche. that was cool. I've never seen balloons before. So we've got a popular niche and a unique niche. And these are just 2 that I'm highlighting, but I want you to just start thinking about niches in general and appealing to specific people in general. But popular niche, memorial and keepsake items. So think pet memorials, baby milestones, urn plaques, anything that memorializes something, anything that people want to remember, remember a time, things like that. So this niche is very emotionally charged, and these buyers value craftsmanship. So if you like creating really, really nice items, maybe this is a place that you like really, really like high-end items is what I'm saying. Not quality, but higher end items. This is an area. But also I see, I had a dog just recently pass away a couple months ago. And so the pet memorial, we bought a pet shadow box, and it was very well done. But there's a lot of laser cut pet memorials out there too, which don't look bad. So it doesn't have to be exquisite craftsmanship either. So that is the popular niche. Unique niche is kind of along the same way, and this is intentional, but unique niche is like, have you seen like the sound wave memorials? So it doesn't have to be a memorial necessarily either, but same kind of person. It can be like birthdays. It could like gifts. It's easily gifted. And what it is it's actually the sound wave engraving. So picture like an audio sound wave, and there's companies out there, which I found some really cool people doing some really cool stuff, is you can say, I love you. And they will take that sound wave and they'll convert it into a vector file, either laser engrave it or CNC engrave it. And you can give it as a gift to somebody. So it's literally the sound waves of someone saying, I love you. So great Mother's Day present, Father's Day, even, anything like that. So that was pretty cool. So notice that I'm leaning into emotional products pretty hard here, and that's not by mistake. Now, there's no hiding it. We're in uncertain economic times, and we have to be intentional about what people are buying. And I've talked to many people. I've even seen it in my business. People are holding on to money tighter than they typically would. A lot of people I've talked to, sales are down. But if you want to hear my thoughts on that, you can go to the podcast go to the live show I shared last night. We talked about that a lot. But the reality is that we need to be intentional. So we need to think about these really emotional moments for people that they're still going to spend money. So you think weddings, you think memorials, you think birthdays, you think Mother's Day, Father's Day, something that people may be spending less money, but they're still going to spend some, right? Because it's that emotional connection. And so that's why I leaned into those. And I think focusing on those are strong sellers, especially during uncertain times. I know for a fact you can build an entire business, because one of the research I was doing to prepare for this out there, I saw many full-blown businesses, not just Etsy listings, many full-blown businesses doing just these items. So if you do it right, the riches are in the niches. All right. We are heading to the thing everybody is waiting for, which was the Spindle Spin. All right. Like I said, we're going to pick someone's name randomly up here on the screen. Eric is going to do this all on his end, and I'm just going to watch it just like you. But let's see who we get tonight. All right. We have 41 entries tonight. Who's going to win a spin on the Spindle Spin? Must be present to win. Mike Manuel, longtime supporter of the channel. Thanks so much, Mike, for being here. You won a spin on the Spindle Spin. Now, you need to confirm that you're here, Mike. And all you write is, I'm here. And there he is right away. Boom. I love it, Mike. I'm here. Yes. No controversy this week. None. All right. Here we go. So, Mike, if I would invite you in to the show here to spin, just picture my arm being your arm, and you're winning a spin here. So, can you see? All right. I'll make sure everybody can see this. All right, are we ready to spin? Ready to spin? All right. And I tested it. It's doesn't just come on loser. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Mike won a project file, a free project file. Awesome, Mike. Reach out to Miranda at support@andybirdbuilds.com. And Mike is the winner. No one else email and say I won. And we will get you hooked up with a free file of your choice. And congratulations. Thanks for playing. Good luck, everybody else, next time. That's cool. So let's see where we're at. Ooh, really? Are we already at rapid fire Q&A? All right. Well, we need some questions. So typically we see what happens when I start answering questions, people start asking questions. So we're just going to jump right into it with the questions we have. But banking on you, pepper me. Do you got any questions about CNC, CNC business, CNC workflow, bits, work holding, YouTube?
That cool blower you just showed.
My cool blower. 3D printing. 3D printing has been fun lately. I've enjoyed that. I'm actually been 3D printing some stuff So that's cool. Making anything, what I had for dinner, that works too. All right, let's head to rapid fire Q&A. All right, let's see what questions you guys got for me tonight. Put me on the spot, and I will give it my best shot. Did that kind of rhyme? That was great. James, yes. James asked, do you still own and use any Shapeoko machines? Yes, James. See it right? Oop, let's see. Oop, right there. All right, now we're going to try to point now. Right there. Shapeoko 5 Pro. I've done several projects on it already this year. And I actually have a Shapeoko Pro that's not set up as well. So I currently have 2 Shapeokos. So yes, I still own them and use them. What else we got here? All right, get these questions in. How long should wood glue stay clamped on hardwood like oak? It really depends on the glue, but what I really like doing is gluing panels at the end of the day and let them set overnight and then unclamp them in the morning. But I've also, depending on what you're doing, I've also pushed it, I've done 4 hours before. And there's even some glues out there. I really like, if I'm in a hurry, I like Speed Set. Now, I would not use Titebond Speed Set for, that's only for, I don't know, if you're kind of in a hurry. I like TB3. Titebond 3 is the best out there. Let it glue your panels up the night before. They're ready to go the next day. John R. says, I'm using VCarve Pro with Shapeoko 3XXL. I've been using Carbide Motion. Do you think it's worth exploring G-Sender? Something else, or sticking with Carbide Motion? Carbide Motion, all the way. That's going to be your best bet. And I actually think you would have a worse experience going to something else. Carbide Motion works so well. I mean, it's designed for the Shapeoko, and you're not missing out on anything. You've got VCarve Pro, which, good. That's fantastic. So I would stick with Carbide Motion. GDS Woodcraft, question on pricing. Is there a minimum amount you should charge for an order as a house minimum? What about your personalizing on site at a craft show? I guess I look at that separately as it draws people in. Yeah, these are great questions. It really depends on the person. I've never had a minimum order because I feel like it's a barrier to entry. It's so hard to make sales as it is. If the job's not worth doing, then I just say no. So I never want to give the customer another reason to not buy. I want to be in control of that. Because if someone says, hey, can you do this $5 item for me? I just say, no, can't. Sorry. Personalizing is kind of a different thing. I wouldn't personalize, someone bringing me something and personalizing it. Like, it's probably not going to be cost effective for them to do that. Right now, maybe what you get into is a setup fee. If someone is just if you're just personalizing things, say, hey, it's a $50 setup fee plus whatever, or it's a $100 setup fee plus whatever, something like those. But I wouldn't word it as minimum order. Cosmin, did you open the Carvera crate? No, I have not, because I didn't get it today. So Cosmin was on the show last night, and I'm supposed to get the Carvera Air, and I did get a package. It was the accessories. So that's what the shipping notice was for. I thought it was for the machine, but they ship out the accessories, I guess, in a different package. So I can't open it because I didn't get it yet. 777 Woodworks. Would you build your own CNC machine if money was tight? No. And that is, I laugh because that's based on my skill set. I just wouldn't do it. Like, I like making things on a CNC. I do not enjoy making a CNC or tinkering with a CNC. I want it to work. So that's why. But if you have that skill set and money's tight, go for it. It can be done. People have done it. Dennis, can the Shapeoko bit setter be used on any other machines? No, I'm not sure, but my gut tells me no. From a technical standpoint, but other machine depending. I mean, I know that's an interesting one. I know other machines have similar things, but I don't think it can be used. I wouldn't just see how it could be used. Just, the way it plugs into the controller. But again, I know there's a lot of IT people in the crowd, and a lot of IT people hack these things all the time. So I'm not going to say it's not possible, but it's definitely not plug and play. Michael Butler, is Etsy worth it? Etsy. I'm going to say, obviously, you guys know, it depends, right? There's people making millions of dollars on Etsy right now. There's actually more people making zero money on Etsy and that are trying. With anything, it takes effort. So I'm not going to sit here and say, don't try it or try it. What I am going to say is you get what you put into it, and not immediately. It may take months. But I think the appeal of Etsy is it takes the personal selling aspect out of it. Like, oh, I can make something, put it on Etsy, and it can sell. The reality is like, if you do Etsy passively, if you try to sell on Etsy passively, your sales results will be passive. So as long as your expectations are aligned, yeah, nothing wrong with it. Pineapple Barbecue says, do you do much with epoxy? I haven't done it in a while. I actually bought some more epoxy the other day, and I like to. I used to mess with it a lot more. There's a lot of videos on my channel where I did some epoxy projects, but I haven't recently. Colson, never engraved on acrylic. What advice would you give for the first time? I'm assuming, honestly, I don't have much advice to give. I've engraved on acrylic with maybe once or twice. I'm trying to think of projects, but it's not something I'm really familiar with. So, but someone that is really good at this is Steve Makes Everything. Check out his YouTube channel. And Steve is a very, very smart guy that tests a lot of things out. So check him out. All right, last question of the night. Let's see. Ken Zidara. Carbide Create versus other design softwares. Where would be the best option? Carbide Create is fine for basic entry-level CNC. I used it for the first 3 years of my CNC journey. If you have a Shapeoko, I would recommend starting with it. If you use it and you're like, oh, I want something more, Vectric is the way to go. VCarve Pro is the way to go. But VCarve Pro is a $700 product, and but it's buy once, and you will never have to think about CNC software again. That's what I love about Vectric. If you want to buy once, cry once, it's fully featured, it's robust, it's intuitive. It is 10x of what Carbide Create is, but it's also $700. So I get asked a lot, what about the learning curve? I don't want to have to learn 2 softwares. You can transition from Carbide Create to Vectric pretty easily. Their buttons are in different locations, but they're generally the same thing. It's not learning from the ground up. So the skills that you learn in Carbide Create will transfer to Vectric. So, oh, you got one more? All right, we got one more question here. Chris says, we currently have a successful laser side hustle. Congratulations. Soon looking to add a Onefinity Pro to our arsenal. Should I just bite the bullet and buy VCarve Pro or use the free 1 year software that comes with it? My opinion, bite the bullet with VCarve Pro. You will not regret it. This is from so many people. I hear so many people talk about using Carveco. Carveco is what comes with Onefinity, and it's just not. It's complicated. It's not intuitive. It's not easy to use, and CNC has enough obstacles to jump through, hoops to jump through. So just bite the bullet. You will not regret it. Bite the bullet. Learn Vectric. Again, you'll never have to think about CNC software again. It'll be your last CNC software purchase. So, yeah. All right. That was great. Great questions. Before we go, don't go anywhere. We need to thank our channel members. So if you don't know, you can support the show. We put a lot of effort into this, and we love your support. There's a lot of different ways to support us. You can check out the links in the description, or you can become a channel member and get your name forever on the channel member wall. Because this episode is recorded, it'll be up on the live stream. It'll be up in my YouTube channel later, or after the show. You can go back and watch this, and so your name will always be on Andy Bird Builds YouTube channel. That's how you do this: is become a channel member and click the button below here. So our current channel members are Johnny Gardner, Technicon Australia, David Mercer, Monte Jones, Aaron Newton, Bill Walker, Earl Mahaffey, Net News Ledger, Roland Glidden, Randall Jenkins, and Pineapples Barbecue and Woodworking. Thank you so much for your support. Honestly, it means a lot to us. Again, I can't stress this enough. I know I said a lot of things, but the one thing I want you to do, and the one thing I want you to get from Andy Bird Builds YouTube channel, every video you watch, every interaction that you have, is I want you to be lifted up, supercharged, excited to create. That's my whole goal. And we've got a lot of resources to support you along on your journey, including the CNC Side Hustle course, which over 300 students have gone through. And I think we're at like 330 something right now. And that's so fantastic. And people seeing results, not learning knowledge that they can apply in so many different ways. So that's an option as well. But ultimately, I just want you to go out there and create and have fun creating. So with that, go fire up your CNC machine and make something you're proud of.